what does it take to reach this day when you're finally announcing the slate, telling the world what you all are putting out?
So many different types of stories, creative voices, large passionate crews on both sides, from the creators and studios that make these stories to all the executives, industrial scale production to get the different departments moving and put it out there in front of the audiences. Like, it gives you a frisson of excitement when you see what you worked on for so long too, and when it's a slate, it's that much more.
2024, the slate, what would you like to tell at the start? The first thing that stands out for you, what do you want to tell the viewers?
What I would like to tell is the incredible sort of spectrum that we are programming across. At the same time, we have a powerful story which is based on a historical event. We have the India-Pakistan documentary coming, the greatest Indian rivalry, the greatest love-hate relationship between two nations.
How did Netflix crack Yash Raj? Because this is Maharaj is the one with Junaid, and it's been with them for a while. How does it come on Netflix? What was the discussion? Aditya Chopra, we know, is not easy to crack.
First off, I will say that Maharaj is a brilliant film.
Okay.
As for cracking YRF or Adi is concerned, I think both Netflix and YRF have a common passion, and that is storytelling.
India is a very complicated market also currently. It's also not everybody can make what they want to make. And do you sometimes feel that I wish we could make everything that we want to make?
Definite challenge. See, there's lots to be made,
Okay.
but I think it's also important to focus that what can you make at quality and how can you make the best version of it.
I have the Netflix slate for 2024 in front of me. I have Monika Shergill right here. I'm very excited. I'm going to jump in straight to a lot of questions. So firstly, big congratulations. What does it take to reach this day when you're finally announcing the slate, telling the world what you all are putting out?
Thank you, Rohit, first for taking time out and having a chat about the slate. And yes, you're right. It takes, I think it takes a village and then some to pull together so many different types of stories, creative voices, large passionate crews on both sides, from the creators and studios that make these stories to all the executives, all the different teams at Netflix, which are in itself like an industrial scale production to get the different departments moving and put it out there in front of the audiences. But that's the excitement of it all, that when a story finally comes through, like, it gives you a frisson of excitement when you see what you worked on for so long too, and when it's a slate, it's that much more.
Right. I'm going to talk about the Indian market specifically because there's so much happening all over the world. How do you and all the, everyone at a management level in Netflix, how do you all see the Indian market grow from the time Sacred Games dropped till now? What has the growth been? How excited are you all? What is the potential?
I think India is fundamentally a very entertainment-loving country.
Right.
Storytelling is at the heart of everything that we do. Even in our everyday conversations, we are telling more stories than, we're coming to the point.
Right.
We love telling stories. So I think for us, India is a very, very important part of the whole sort of global jigsaw.
Yeah.
Not just as a market, but just as a people, as a culture. That is something which is very important. The creative industry in India is so mature. The language creative industries are so mature, which is rare to find in many other countries also. Our cinema is mature. We have a TV, landscape which is very dense.
Yeah.
So I think from that perspective, we have, and also we are a large country. So while the talent pool is still expanding, I think the good thing is that there is so much out there that is untapped. So I think from a Netflix perspective, India is a very important country. It's a story-loving country. So I think from the time Sacred Games dropped, the journey has only become better and better year on year.
Yeah.
I think everything has come together in a way that last year we had our most successful year. Yes,
Okay.
on every sort of measure, and we had a full slate of entertainment. We had so much audience love, and we had so much critical acclaim.
Right.
To get all of those three things together,
Right.
we won most of the awards. We were sweeping the
Yes.
awards for all our titles across Scoop, Cora, the Oscar, the
Yeah.
International Emmy. We had commercial hits like Rana, Guns and Gulabs. We had big, partnerships like YRF happening with the Railwaymen. We had Jaane Jaan. We had amazing talent debuting, voices like Vishal Bhardwaj.
Yes.
So I think it was such a packed year. Our documentaries did so well. The Hunt for Veerappan,
Yes.
Curry and Cyanide. So I think from every aspect, whether it was having a book to screen of an important story like Trial by Fire, or creative voices, or really commercial hits. I think like Mission Majnu, we had everything. So I think we closed the year in a very, very big way. And I think 2024 is something that we are very excited about.
Right.
What the slate we have lined up for our audiences.
Right.
We are very excited about it, and I dare say that the audience will also, see where we are headed with this.
I'm sure. Before I come to this later, I also want to ask you, the market that you oversee is also India is specifically, I'm talking about, is a very complicated market. There are different languages, there's a South industry, suddenly one super hit comes from there. When you all talk about this market, what all stands out?
I think from India, what stands out is the real diversity, the fact that anything can come from a different language and can become a raging hit.
Right.
RRR proved,
Yeah.
and we had the Hindi version on the service, and it had done well in the theatres, but the life it got on the service,
Right.
between the power of Netflix as a distribution, sort of platform,
Correct.
and the recommendations that we have, what every title or every story that comes, whether it comes as an original, whether it comes, as a post-theatrical, whether it comes in one language or another, what we are able to sort of bring together, to those stories and take them everywhere, take them deeper into India, wider into India, and then cross the borders
Right.
in such a definitive way. Like last year, if I have to share, 49 out of 52 weeks, we had an Indian title in the global non-English list.
Amazing.
There are not many countries that
Right,
can
that
boast
can
of
offer
that.
that, right.
And, if I have to compare even our progression from 2022 to 23, we moved from, I think, 47 titles in the global list to 62 titles last year.
Okay.
So that's the direction, and that's also happening because of the diversity of the
Diversity, right.
content. Like a Tamil story is also doing so well, a Telugu story is coming, a Malayalam story, dubbed stories are doing so well, South stories in Hindi are doing so well. So I think that is something which is very encouraging, it's very exciting for all of us, and we can be a part of that zeitgeist and consumers, where earlier we used to see, we make what we don't watch, but now we watch what we make.
Right. Also, sticking to this market, when you all greenlight a title, what is the basic thing a filmmaker watching should know that will be picked up by Netflix?
I think there should be something in the idea, a distinctiveness, a freshness that should immediately leap out, a boldness that should leap out. Then how strong is the creator's voice in that idea? You can have tons of ideas. There are so many amazing ideas and stories out there. But what a creator's very clear vision and distinctive voice brings to it actually takes it from just a one-pager idea that everybody in the room can be excited about to that journey of 2 years where you shape it, So I think the first phase of an idea is very important, where one can clearly see that this is bold, this is different, very distinctive. Audience must, you feel that. It's like when you watch a trailer of something, you're like, wow, this looks interesting.
Right.
I want to watch this. You make a mental note of it. So there's something that sparks in you when you hear an idea. And how you can convert that spark into a real fire. That's what an idea has to become.
Right.
And that happens with us, sort of doing our best, putting in everything that it takes to really support the creator to bring their vision to life.
Right.
So.
Right. First few years when OTT came and Netflix came especially, the exhibition sector saw it as competition. You all kept saying that we are one industry, and many people kept saying that. Now I think you all have reached a middle ground somewhere where there is no talk about at least competition, that you both can coexist. Do you think you all have reached some kind of a settled phase now where the window is pretty much fixed for a release in a theater and on Netflix?
I absolutely think so. There is always initially, whenever something new comes, there is some mistrust, or you take time to reach an equilibrium. Also, the pandemic was a tough time for everyone. It was a very tough time for the industry, and I feel that streaming was there front and center to help. To help a lot of studios, producers, creators, whose work could not come out or see the light of the day.
Yeah.
So I think while there was a certain uncertainty during that period, I think we've gone pretty much past that. And I think streaming is a supporter, collaborator, and we are living in a world where people want to see stories. Tech has the confluence of storytelling and technology has made it possible that there was something great that I missed that I can go back and watch, or that something amazing that could be created but never got a chance to be created. But there is streaming, and they are telling so many amazing stories that every audience cluster can be super served by that.
True. When people come to you and talk to you about Netflix, there is enough competition around. What do they tell you that what stands out that they watch Netflix? What do you think, according to everyone you've spoken to, that you all have that specializes?
I think what stands out for me when they say that, oh, you have this also. Oh my God, I watched a documentary the other night and it was so good. And I watched, this series, or that I'm waiting. When is that thing coming? Original films is something that only we have done from the beginning when, we came into the market. So I think the ability to watch very diverse content which only exists on Netflix. They never just talk about that only one thing. We always see that you love something, I love something, somebody else loves something. Plus the ability to, find something for your taste and mood, find something which is from a different language, culture, the biggest zeitgeisty stuff from across the world. In fact, it's strange that you ask this, because half the time I can bet right now, if you tell me 3 things or 5 things or 10 things that you are following or watching, I may not be aware, because there is just so much out there. So I think that just everything that we have, and that everything is meant for a different audience taste. There is no hierarchy there. We want to program to a very broad spectrum. And we want to deliver it with an immediacy and with an experience, which makes you feel good about sitting wherever you are on a device of your choice, in your own time and your personal space, that you can enjoy the best of stories from around the world.
Right. So there's something for everyone.
Yes.
Right. Lastly, what I also saw very recently and enjoyed was SAG Awards. Will we see more live events on Netflix like this? Because this was amazing to sit and watch at home.
Yeah, live events is something where we are leaning in. We have seen, how you can, that experience of watching something at the same time, both co-viewing and concurrent viewing is something which is very exciting for people. It's very immediate for people, and I think we value every single sort of consumer behavior and audience behavior that we should serve from an entertainment perspective, we would like to. So I think that's something where we are moving towards, and everything will coexist.
Right. Viewers are the winners at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's important for us, and as an entertainment service, to be very closely listening and learning.
Yeah.
That because audiences' tastes and demands are actually getting constantly shaped and reshaped by what they're seeing every day, what all they are seeing from everywhere. So I think it's important for us to keep our ear close, to learn, to understand.
Right. This all I wanted to know. I don't get to meet you that often. That's why I asked you all this. There's now, of course, 2024. The slate, what
Yes.
would you like to tell at the start? The first thing that stands out for you, what do you want to tell the viewers?
I think what I would like to tell is the incredible sort of spectrum that we are programming across.
Okay.
So I think you will see we have just had a very gritty film like Bhakshak, which
Yes.
just came, or a Killer Soup, which was Chaube's very quirky, take on a crime caper. And as we move through the year, you are seeing we have our biggest epic coming, Hira Mandi,
Yes, Hira Mandi.
Bhansali's
Yes.
Hira Mandi. So I think that will be an incredible experience. At the same time, we have a powerful story which is based on a historical event, IC 814,
Yes.
the Kandahar hijack.
Yes.
That is going to be such a different experience for everyone to have a propulsive thriller where you see how that happened and what happened and how, the whole incident panned out. So a true event from history which people are going to be able to see. We have, Mandala Murders, we have Kota Factory 3, we have The Great Indian Couple Show, we have Wild Wild Punjab, which is Love Ranjan's film, we have Haseen Dilruba 2 coming,
Yes.
we have the India-Pakistan documentary coming, the greatest Indian rivalry, the greatest love-hate relationship between two nations through cricket. We have, a very interesting thing that we have Yo-Yo Honey Singh as a documentary, and we have Amar Singh Chamkila as Imtiaz is, his beautiful film. I'm so thrilled about that film, and Rahman's music. So I think Maharaj from YRF, Vijay 69 from YRF. We have Neeraj Pandey's directorial that we are announcing, Sikandar Ka Mukaddar. We have Khaki 2. So, there is a huge range of stories. So, I know you might feel that I'm, sort of repeating my point, but I think this is something which I feel is at the heart of what we do at Netflix and what helps us serve our audiences better where entertainment is concerned, because we do believe that not everything is meant for everyone, but we must program to the large enough audience tastes and moods that are out there, and that is the only way we have actually dramatically grown over the last 2 years, because I think we are the only service actually keeping track of the audience taste programming at that scale and volume that Netflix is known for anywhere in the world.
Right. That's a very, very exciting slate. Amazing titles. I'm just going through it. I know we can't talk about every because you'll have too many.
Yeah.
But just a little bit. Say Maharaj is. How did Yash Raj Studios is a very family-run, old school studio in India, very popularly known. And how did Netflix crack Yash Raj? Because this is Maharaj is the one with Junaid, and it's been with them for a while. How does it come on Netflix? What was the discussion? Aditya Chopra, we know, is not easy to crack.
First off, I will say that Maharaj is a brilliant film.
Okay.
I have seen it, and I can say it very confidently. I was just transfixed when I was watching that film.
Okay.
What that film is, what those performances are. You can just see it stands for the best of what YRF, as we all know. And as for cracking YRF or Adi is concerned, I think both Netflix and YRF have a common passion, and that is storytelling. And I think the DNA of the two companies, in that sense, there is common ground to be found. We work together on the romantics, on bringing romantics to the world. And I think what YRF team and Adi also saw that as Netflix, we are very committed. I can say this, that there are many streaming services, and I respect, regard content which comes from everywhere. But I think there is something that is unique to Netflix, and that is the relationship we have with our creators and studios. As a company that does storytelling as our core business, that is the only thing that we do. We believe that we are there to nurture the creative community, to give back to the creative community, to bring all kinds of innovating new vision to life. So I think Adi saw that.
Okay.
There were lots of conversations, and every single conversation was exciting and about how can we come together, and I think it happened, and I'm so excited and actually grateful for the two teams working so well together. We have so much to do.
Right. No, you all get great credit. Above everything, you all showed the world that Adi actually exists. So that is a very big credit. The whole world was watching to see, okay, that is what Aditya Chopra, that's what he talks like.
And it is amazing listening to him.
Yeah,
As I'm sure you saw in the documentary, in every meeting, I see the genius that that man is.
Right.
So it's exciting to work with them.
You're working with more geniuses, and there's also Sanjay Bhansali. What was that like? How did that come on board? Because again, he's someone who makes everything for the big screen.
He is one of the, I think, most amazing creators that you will probably see in our lifetimes.
Yeah, true.
I think what, doesn't cease to amaze me is how every single thing that goes in creating, a film, a scene, a series is touched by him in such a beautiful way and such a unique way. He creates music, he does the sets,
Editing.
he does the costumes, he edits, he writes. What does he not do?
True.
So I think he's a very different auteur, and he's a very rare creator, not just in India. He's the only one of his kind at that level in India, I feel. And he has his style of storytelling, and I think across the world he's one of the greats that we have.
Wow. What does he not do his interviews? I hope he's watching and does that.
No, he when he does interviews, he does delightful interviews. I don't know if you saw last time when Ted was here,
I did.
and they did that for that 1 hour. I think he regaled the whole room with his humor. So he's a very fun person, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah. So, right. What is the, because people will read all this on the slate, and they just for you to give them some idea, what is the great rivalry India versus Pakistan? What should they expect?
This is, it's great that you asked. This was a documentary which was conceived mid-air. Okay. When I was traveling with the producer of the series now. We met on a flight, and we've known each other for a long time, and we were there into sports content. And, there are constant pitches that keep happening, and I just said that why isn't anyone making something on the India-Pakistan love-hate relationship? And she said, we've also been thinking, oh my God. And we just, had a conversation, and one thing led to another. I think what you will see will be a very important and moving piece of storytelling of the two countries that have, we express our love and our hate on and off field. And that is what you're going to see.
Nice. Also, say something like Fabulous Life, and you all have quite a few unscripted. Monika, how do you make sure this one thing that, it's not going into another season just because there's a demand? There's a story also.
I think it's very important for us to not just program when enough people are not watching. So, because, we are particularly as Netflix, we are a service which has a lot of content. And we don't want to just keep making if there are, not enough people watching. When we see a content like Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives, it is such guilty pleasure for so many people. True, I can just tell you, just a couple of hours ago, I was sitting with a creator, and they said that, when are you bringing that out? Because, when I come back from a shoot, I just want to watch some guilty pleasure, mindless stuff where I can just laugh. And so I think there are people who love watching, and it is natural evolution. And Karan thinks, in that way, and Anisha, who is the showrunner. So I think it was a natural move to get the Delhi lifestyle also in. So it's a very exciting Bombay versus Delhi face-off. So I think there is demand, and we want to serve that demand.
Right. Lastly, also, India is a very complicated market also currently. It's also not everybody can make what they want to make. Are you at that position? Do you sometimes feel that I wish we could make everything that we want to make?
Yeah, now that is a definite challenge. See, there's lots to be made,
Okay.
but I think it's also important to focus that what can you make at quality and how can you make the best version of it. So I think while there may be hundreds of ideas, we get so many of them and we also have a capacity. You cannot make everything. But I think what are the most important and urgent stories, the most entertaining, the most defining, and the most surprising and delighting. Like I can just give you, like, throw those adjectives at you because that's how, when an idea comes, what does it make you feel?
Right.
You know, it's important to know what does it make you feel. Like when we make an IC814 with Anubhav Sinha,
Right.
we know that we are going for a certain feel that a maker can bring,
Right.
or that Neeraj Pandey has a certain kind of an audience, and he brings that kind of propulsiveness to something and has a very unique voice. So I think, and also with the new voices that we bring on the service, I think what is like Pulkit, who's done Bhakshak. So I think there is a certain feel to it, or a Sameer Saxena, Poshampa, who did Kala Pani last year for us, which was a different dystopian series, and this year they're doing Mamla Legal Hai, which is like completely radically opposite. So I think it's important to see how will the audience feel when they watch this idea, when they see the best version of
Right.
it. That's how, we decide, and how many people will like it, will we be able to. Of course, we are always standing on tiptoe, wanting everyone, to like, and I think that's the excitement of it, that's the challenge of it, and now I think for me, Kapil coming and taking Netflix and India and world by storm, along with Hira Mandi and everything else, is the next, big thing for us.
Right. No, also, just when you're making content, say when it's an India Pakistan thing, all the eyes are, all the ears pop up saying, wow, what is coming up, and there's always, what I'm asking is, there'll always be someone who doesn't like something, who may not agree with you. Where, what is your brief to the team making here content, that what all departments look into what is being made?
Actually, what is being made is a whole bunch of executives on it who read different pitches, then we discuss the pitches, we sit down, we have all those discussions on, what we are developing, what can move faster, what is coming from a new creator, what is the distinctive voice. So I think it's not a single person's taste that determines. It's not even my taste that can determine everything that comes on Netflix India. Not at all. That's not how we work in any of the teams across Netflix, because each of us bring a certain personal taste, but we are also wearing the audience hat, and multiple people with different taste and wearing that audience hat, keeping their ear close to the ground, constantly learning from what people are watching, what is new, and how can we even surprise the audience with something that they haven't thought of. So I think that is something which is an ongoing thing all the time. So it is not at all one taste or one decision deciding what has to happen, and that's why we are able to program to the diversity that we do, the variety. And the one thing that we all are focused on is that everything we take, how can we bring across departments and functions creative excellence to that? How can we make it the best? How can we support those teams in the best way?
Right. Great, exciting year for you. All we can, as a viewer, all I can say is thank you for all the entertainment that you all provide us. Thank you for having us at your office, and all the very best. This slate is really exciting for a viewer.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you. So nice talking to you.